I'm Wit of Wit TV, and I'm here interviewing Mr. Nino, or Running Mayor. The purpose of this interview allows the people of Los Santos who are unable to speak directly with Mr. Nino or hear any of his candidate ideas. This will give them an idea of what he stands for and what he plans to accomplish. The past couple days, I've been going around interviewing all the people of the city, gathering a bunch of feedback, concerns, questions that everyone wants addressed and answered, and I've compiled the most asked questions into a list here. I have 5 questions of the most asked questions that the citizens want to have answered.
Absolutely. If you don't mind, look, my team has spent countless weeks working on a very solid platform, and that goes on top of some of the legislation we helped pass, including gun reform, FOIA's being released, a program to get more lawyers into positions to be able to defend their clients. We've been working very closely with G6 and the sanitation divisions to try to increase their efforts. And most of my platform is taking everything that we've been learning and trying to advance on that. You can find most of that stuff on votenino.com, right? We're not just fucking headlines. We got an actual plan in place. Not empty words. We got promises.
There we go. That's okay. So this might be good because that's actually one of the questions later on. I can skip down to here and we can go to, it's actually a lot about small businesses and the way to address. I've been talking with people trying to get the price that each job pays and see how people feel about the pay that they're getting and seeing what jobs need to be balanced out, because there's a lot of things like I know people are saying G6 makes a lot of money where other jobs don't really compensate as much. Like when we were just in there, Senior Buns was one of them.
I can actually, if you want, I can fully address that particular point. The reality of the matter is the past administration did not give a shit about who was getting paid what. It was more a matter of someone would ask for something, and they would raise the pay in order to get a benefit back. Instead of going down this route of like, this place gets paid this much, we actually have a economist who's going to be pulling state records, is going to be turning that into a visual infogram, and also is going to get a breakdown of how much people are getting paid per capita. So what does that mean in like English? What that means is G6 has a certain amount of costs for repairs. Shops have certain amount of costs in order to get ingredients. All those things are going to get factored in, and then we're going to, based on like difficulty of the job, how boring or how fun it is, we're going to be adjusting payments. So no longer are we going to have a system where like someone can come through and be like, G6 is getting paid too much. G6 is getting paid a little. Toe's getting paid a lot. Toe's getting paid a little. Instead, we're going to have like actual facts that are that's going to help determine how payments get made. To give you an idea, fucking cops are getting paid $3,500 to $4,500 an hour, right? While the hospital is getting paid $1,000 an hour. Nothing makes any fucking sense. If you come to the mayor's office, we should be able to explain exactly why a particular job is getting paid what it is, and not because someone fought it in a certain direction.
Well, that already answers our next question we have here when we interviewed the people and the staff over at the hospital about how they feel they're underappreciated. It's really hard to keep people and doctors around here.
It was even worse than that before.
While we're still here at the businesses, while interviewing citizens, there's also, along with the budget thing, that actually answered a lot of people's questions and concerns, if you plan to address that. Because, yeah, a lot of them, I guess, a lot of people are saying they're really boring work, and there's a lot, especially with, like, while we're addressing the problems with the jobs, one of them was the mechanics. A lot of people with the mechanics were saying there's certain things where when you're working in the mechanic and you can't do certain work because you have no components, you have no parts that they need, but if they go to do the job themselves over, I guess, sanitary, they lose their rep and their status there, and they have to start all the way back over at the mechanic grinding.
That's a great question. And that's why real solutions are not like some candidate saying they're going to do this and that. You got to look at the entire system holistically. There's currently a material shortage. Computer systems are breaking down. Those got to get replaced. Those need materials. More people have vehicles, which means that there's a need for more parts, which means a need for more material, which is why how do you fix it? How do you resolve it? You have to make sanitation more attractive. Whether that means making it so we go and talk to the boss and make it so maybe more people can work over there, give them more jobs, have more materials sitting in more trash bags, so that the massive shortage of materials get resolved, and then that in turn helps the mechanics, in turn helps people trying to get pots put together, etc., etc.
I have been talking with the sanitation crew, and their biggest concern too, why the components are so short in the city, is because a lot of them don't go to the mechanics who need them to repair and fix and upgrade cars. A lot of them either get stolen when they're out working, or they're used for criminal activity, and they never actually make it to the city like mechanics that need some components, and that's why there's a big shortage of components as well. Is there any way to address this problem?
Yes, absolutely. I was having a conversation with one of the owners of a mechanic shop, and one thing that I'm really pushing heavily for is we need to allow imagination to flourish. And let me give you an example of this. The solution to mechanic shops is not strictly on, can we get more pots so people can fix more cars or whatever? It's making sure that these guys can get on duty anytime they want, because cars got to get fixed 24/7, right? The second is, I think there's a lot of high performance vehicles out there. I'd like to see mechanic shop to be able to tune those after they've, been in a drag race or two, and so people can start coming down to the mechanic shops to get some, maybe get their wheels aligned, get their, light tuning or whatever. So giving these mechanics more to do is in and of itself a good solution.
That's actually probably the most significant and impressive answer I've heard yet. Give them more creativity for the work, and you'll have more flow of workers. Moving away from businesses, another one, well, I guess away from money talk, but it's still within the realm of businesses. A lot of people are also pushing about the ways of small businesses type in the city, where I guess the last mayor didn't really do much to help with the small businesses that were promised, and that's the biggest concern a lot of people have now. Is there any strategies to plan to promote new businesses to help other people who want to start up their own little business?
Yes. The problem with the previous administration is it was pretty much a singular guy who would review everyone's proposal, and in turn, a lot of proposals have been just sitting there, just doing absolutely nothing. I'm enacting the Department of Commerce, run by Eve Summers. I want to get Ash Ketchup in there. I want to get a bunch of folks whose sole focus is going to be around reviewing proposals and giving responses, so that regardless of what the proposal is, they get a response within 72 hours. And if it's not something that's feasible, they should at least get some sort of guidance as to what they can do to make their business succeed.
That's actually an amazing way to respond for that one. That's probably the best response we've gotten for this question so far.
I mean, that's kind of like the heart of the campaign, right? That fucking old fuck over there has been going around. He yoinked all an entire campaign, all the titles, slapped it onto the government website, and is promising everyone that he's gonna get on his knees and suck their dick. But when they sit back and they find out that nothing's been done, no one should be surprised. The fact of the matter is, there's a lot of hard work is ahead of the city on the shoulders of the mayor. And unless they have a real plan, unless they have been spending time understanding how to solve something, promises don't mean shit. You need a plan. Like you said, this might be a well thought up idea, but we've got a lot of those. We spent a lot of time thinking and a lot of time developing.
Moving more into my realm, outside of working, a lot of people have addressed concerns that there isn't all too much else to do within the city. Do you have any plans upon your win to improve the entertainment industry within the city?
Yes, absolutely. Music is pretty dead in Los Santos. Now, that's not to say that people aren't making good music. It's just that the interest isn't there. You can have a concert among your friends, and that can be, some level of enjoyment. But I want music and entertainment to actually mean something. And the only way to do that, because people aren't going to pay for concert tickets. They never do. They never have. At the end of prior to the previous economic collapse, people were throwing fucking stages down in the middle of the road, and 5 people would be singing to like 2 people in the audience. Instead of going down the same old, we're actually putting together the music consortium. We've spoken to multiple music labels. We want a representative from each one being on that board, and we want them to develop more meaning behind music and the arts. What does that mean? I mean music billboards, right? Ratings. People should be able to throw their opinion as to which song they're listening to, so they have something to compete for. I want concerts where you have these multiple labels like competing with each other to a degree, right? So there's a level of competition and reason to go watch that, listen to that music beyond just the tracks themselves. I want artists to actually get paid for their time. There's no reason why that concerts can't be subsidized by the state, right? If the state can't provide arts and entertainment to folks, what the fuck is the state doing, right? Are they just here to consume taxpayer money and not give it back? And that's kind of what that consortium is for. Think of it as like a think tank to develop music to the next level, to bring more meaning to it beyond just, can I make a track?
So going off my case here, outside of music, I run a small television program called Wit TV, which we're on here now live. We plan to air all our self-made TV shows, movies, live theater shows, and other sources of entertainment to the city. However, much like you stated, the biggest problem we have is we're currently searching for actors for our upcoming movie, but they require payment for their acting services, and we currently make no money. So we'd be able to go and request the funding in order to make this project a reality under this program?
That's where the Music and Arts Consortium comes from. Like it's going to expand beyond music, film, theater, things like that. Because I don't think it's healthy for the city to strictly be putting money in the hands of people's pockets, for those that are just going around moving fucking local tow trucks or making $10,000 an hour fishing. That creativity and ideas should be paramount. It's what makes the city tick.
Yeah, I agree, because the entertainment is huge, but a lot of people shy away from it because I guess there's no money. But I'm here, I don't really care for the money. This is my passion and my love interest, so I'll do it no matter what. But I notice it's hard to get a lot of people focused and interested because I guess nothing really pays out. So I was wondering if there's the grant would actually pull a lot of people in.
100%. And I think that's where subsidizing and grants come from. I think that it's got to get focused on that. Really, at the end of the day, right, things have to be looked at holistically. And that doesn't mean that like performers should necessarily be millionaires, but we also have to recognize the fact that people don't have and will not be willing to just throw money out there. And it is up to the state to draw in attractions. I mean, look at all those like European countries, right? A lot of them, right? There's a reason why they build tourism. You want people to visit Europe, right? And maybe go there to stay. It inherently makes sense for the state to be creating culture.
Our last part of the interview is open floor for anything else we didn't address that's in your candidate running policy that you would like to give your kind of like your long-term plan that you have, or anything you'd like to achieve, anything we didn't cover already that you would like to address.
I had a conversation with one of my opponents who stated that he doesn't know how to solve anything, but instead he's gonna be getting Andy Jones, Ash Ketchup, and a bunch of others to do the work for him. And my question is, are you really going to vote for someone that's going to make someone else do the work for him? And do you think they're actually going to do it on his behalf? The answer is no. Fuck no. This is a mayoral campaign.
Order the food.
This is a mayoral campaign. This is about your future. And if you want to, flush your future down the toilet, by all fucking means, but don't be surprised when
for all of us right now.
shit doesn't go the way that you expect it will.
Thank you. And this has been our interview with our mayor-elect running candidates.
Thank you very much for your time. I appreciate that.